What? You fucking serious? Hi, doggy. Hey, hey, hey. I. What isn't. Come on. It wasn't picking up the other chats. What? Oh, yeah, there's a Mazimo. He's going back and forth. Man, it is weird out there today. I don't even know how to fucking start. I just found out about the iPhone Pocket, which is a $100 piece of cloth you can hold your iPod in or your iPhone, whatever. I'm just like, what? Okay. All right. And apparently, people are worried that there might be video of Donald J. Trump giving fucking Bill Clinton a blowjob. I don't even know. I don't even know, man. Like, ew. Just ew. Sorry. Well, it's okay, kitty. You can do what you want. I'm not going to bother you. Did I hear about the TwitchCon incident? I probably should have, but I didn't. Donica Lewinsky. Oh, yes. I did hear about Donica Lewinsky. That's what I was talking about. I'm just like, yeah. So what's the TwitchCon incident? So I know all, I mean, there's not much to. Donald Trump giving Bill Clinton a blowjob is not. Hey. I think the cats are fighting. It's Donald Lewinsky. It's Donald Trump giving Bill Clinton a blowjob like Monica Lewinsky did. After her TwitchCon assault, Amiru, who is Amiru? Oh, this thing. I think. No, I don't know about this. I don't know if he's gonna do a rap song about it. I hope not. That YouTuber I watched in hospice has died. Oh shit! I'm sorry. Somebody named Miru was nearly sexually assaulted by a fan, and Twitch was very lax in punishing said assault. Well, great. It's the least shocking. I'm all shocked out when it comes to fucking Donald Trump. Yeah. A few months back, there was a female streamer who was assaulted at the con. I remember hearing about that. Con did not respond well. And I'm kind of like, yeah, say it ain't so. I don't know what to tell you, folks. You chased your friend away and now you're meowing that he's gone. The hell's wrong with you? What are you on about? Fucking cat. Ah. Yeah, well, sorry about that. The stalker get arrested? I don't know. I assume something happened to him. Let's dig into this. Back in mid-October, when during a TwitchCon meeting with TwitchCon meet and greet, a man was able to bypass security and the line to approach Amiro and pull her into a hug before attempting to kiss her. Amiro released a statement the day after the con saying TwitchCon staff did not react and let the guy walk away, with a member of her own security team being the one to handle the assaulter. Oh, boy. I don't know, man. Whoa, the Twitch CEO is an old guy. I thought he would be closer to my age. Dude. Ninja says the last couple of years have been rough because the internet and trolls are obsessed with the fact he's not as big as he once was. Well, whatever, man. I give a fuck. Like how old? Well, let me show a picture of the guy. Let's see. Ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba. Okay, like that old looking. I didn't realize he was that old. Like he looks old. The steamers are talking about, man. I. Well, one of the things, like this is actually a little bit different because like this is a guy who like who like broke through a security line at an event. Not this guy. This is the CEO of Twitch. Sorry, my brain is like a little out of it. But like I having dealt I I don't even know, man. I don't even fucking know. What's going on? Hey, you YouTube, quit censoring shit. Oh, we off? We off or no, we're on. We're on. We're on. Okay. Well, we seem to be still on. But yeah, like basically what happened is there was a meet and greet, which I don't know, man. Like when it comes to like female celebrities, like I wouldn't have done that. I'd have been like, yeah, no. It just gets too weird. It just gets too weird. You know, you want that table between you and them. I don't know how else to say it. You just really do. And this was one where there was no table. It was just she was just standing there, and it was like, well, that's weird. It's a streamer called Miru, I think. Yeah, she got like this guy at a meet and greet tried to hug and kiss her, which, whoa, ain't that kind of party? You know, TwitchCon ain't that kind of party, if you know what I mean. Yeah, Imiru. And I and it was like she didn't want to do the meet and greet either, like in the first place, but like she was contractually obliged to do it. You know, because she had a few stalkers because she's a popular streamer on the internet, so she has stalkers, which was one of the reasons she didn't want to do it. And I can kind of understand the desire to touch and kiss somebody, but you're supposed to not do that. Just like you're not supposed to just whip your dick out in front of somebody. You're not supposed to do that. You know, that's not something you do. Could have been way worse. I mean, like the thing is, it could have been way worse. Like he could have had a knife, he could have had a gun, you know, all kinds of shit could have happened. And con security ain't like fucking con, con security is fake security. Con security is fake security. They're they're all fucking volunteers. which is why she had her own security there who actually did something. But the guy got away, and Twitch's response was not great. Like, all they really had to say is, we're doing our best to try to figure out who it was and make sure they're banned from all events. Boom. Just say that. Don't say anything more. Don't say anything else. Just say that. Just do that. And if it turns out you can't find the guy, then you could say that you did your best. You know, probably also might want to go through, might want to even ask, like, hey, if anyone else has any additional video of this incident that would help identify this person in the future, please share it with us. Please share it with us. My gripe is many people from Kick and Rumble are acting like the services are morally superior. Wait, what are you talking about? Is con security a step above or a step below mall security? Below. It's a step below. I gotta be just damn serious. It's a step below. You know, the not even mall cops. These are a lot of these people are people who wouldn't even make it as mall cops. You know, mall cop be a step up. Yeah, we're talking about TwitchCon here. The keeper tried to put his arm on Ariana Grande at the Wicked Part 2 premiere and needs to be put away in jail. Whoa, that was a weird one. You know, like that was a weird one. I would have thought that, like, Ariana Grande would have better security, to be totally honest. And didn't he hit her or something? Ariana Grande assault. Oh, okay. Charged with being a public nuisance. I don't think he needs to go put away in jail, maybe arrested. Which it looks like he was. Yeah. People need to learn boundaries, man. I remember actually being mall security for a SAC anime who had that voice actor from Adventure Time. Boy, that was nuts. Yeah. And you were probably actually one of the more qualified guys there because you actually were a security guard. But, you know, all cons got fake security. I've been to too many of them. Now, that's not a reason not to go. Just, you know, be a little extra careful. Oh my God, somebody. Okay, so there are people doing like whole videos on, oh my God. How much training do you think needs to be done for a convention guard? Look, I'm just saying something. security is a tricky situation. But when you're at the size of TwitchCon, that's something you should probably have had handled. You know, let me put it this way. If a concert can have decent security, a convention can have decent security. At least a real big one. Little one, you probably don't need much. I mean, that's me being honest. You know, like, it's smaller day convention, yeah, and no problem. But once there's a certain amount of money and a certain size, you really need to get real security. Yeah. You need someone who can actually stop situations. That's when it comes to like celebrities, like that's a thing. Now, let's see how bad this was. Like, this guy's gonna take a video of it.
We're going on a side quest. Look, there's no sense in standing on ceremony. You know what Twitch is, you know what TwitchCon is. Twitch is the biggest streaming platform in the world, and TwitchCon is its biggest convention. And recently that said convention was the center of a massive public scandal. The famous streamer Emaru was assaulted during one of her meet and greets. A parasocial fan was allowed to skip right past security, waltz past the line, and walk right up to her. He grabbed her, holding her in his arms, while attempting to force her to kiss him. Obviously, that is disgusting, and it was caught on camera for the world to see. It sparked a wider discussion around streamer safety and con safety, and I want to be a part of it because I have wanted to talk about convention safety for a while, ever since this video by Swell Entertainment about Gen Con, a convention I'm going to be going to next year in 2026. And yeah, with everything I've seen this year, I'm like a little bit nervous about that. I don't think anything bad's gonna happen to me or anything. Frankly, I'm not big enough for anyone to like want to kiss me, I think. But at the same time, it does make me just a tad nervous that seemingly content creator safety has been getting neglected almost systematically by many conventions and events. I think someone's got to talk about it because it goes way past Twitch, way past Emaru. It is a problem in many, many spaces. So today, we're talking about negligent security, negligent CEOs, content creators being abandoned, and just general convention nonsense. Yeah, it's a lot of fun today. So without further ado, what the hell happened?
I have seen a stronger security presence at my dilapidated local Winn-Dixie.
Fuck you, Osmond.
Wake them up, samurai! We have a city to burn!
Okay, while this video is primarily about Emaru, I do want to address one thing. At the same time as this whole situation happened with TwitchCon and the assault, Emaru also came out with allegations against her ex-boyfriend, the streamer Mizkif.
Today, I'm finally gonna be opening up about...
Oh, God. Hang on, I need a minute. Okay.
the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Ms. Kiff has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing.
Obviously, these allegations are very, very serious, and I want to take them seriously if I ever cover them. The point is, I'm not covering them here. I do not want to do just like a half-ass segment on something with so much...
Did I kill most critical Osmond Gold? Oh, shit, was that... Sorry, it was all blurry, so I just saw that haircut and that beard and thought Osmond Gold. No, I stand corrected.
Gravity. If I ever talk about Emaru and Mizkif and his alleged abuse, I will give it a full video and my full due diligence. For now, we're talking about TwitchCon. Mizkif, he may have his day in the future. In any case, let's go back to TwitchCon and rewind to before Emaru was attacked. She and many other female streamers were already expressing concerns about the convention because seemingly this whole safety thing had been getting worse over the course of 2025. This year, we saw Twitch streamers getting assaulted live on camera during their stream, and Emaru was one of the women in that situation.
Security! He's harassing us.
What's going on? What's going on, man? Right now. I'll kill you right now. I'll kill you right now.
Whoa!
A man
Whoa! Damn! Yeah, I'd be a little freaked out. Oh, he's the unwashed Temu moist critical. Oh, okay. All right. I have my Temu glasses on. Maybe I need my regular glasses. Hold on. Nope. This is actually at the distance. My glasses make that look worse. Yeah. Whatever. I might as well unsmudge my glasses because apparently got smudge marks on them. God, I feel weird about wearing these glasses because I only really wear them for fucking driving. You know, so I can see faraway signs. All right.
Attacked them in public. They had to flee on camera in front of their audiences. It was a really, really rough situation, and it served as, once again, another spark around convention safety concerns. Because if this is the kind of thing happening in random locations on their stream, then what's going to happen when they're all advertising to their fans, hey, possibly parasocial and psychotic fans, we're all going to be here at this place together? Yeah, it seemed like a recipe for disaster, and so many female streamers were expressing that they were hesitant to go to Gen Con. Emaru was one of them.
I'm kind of afraid to go to TwitchCon.
We're in a bit of a conundrum with TwitchCon.
I've been so anxious and scared and sad this whole past week with everything that's been going on.
She did end up choosing to go, but there were some caveats. Like, for example, caveats with her events. If you're unaware, big streamers like Emaru often host massive events in big ol' halls with hundreds of people in attendance. They often take a lot of planning, months of work, and allegedly, Twitch was holding these events hostage.
In order to, I can't cancel my meet and greet and not cancel her show. I'm under contract with them, so I can't cancel one and not cancel the other.
Interesting.
Oh.
If you're not catching exactly what's being said there, essentially, Twitch was telling these people that if they don't do their meet and greets, their events would be canceled. You can't just cancel the meet and greets. You need to do the meet and greets and the events. If you cancel the meet and greets, then your event that you planned for months is going to, which really, really, really sucks. You can see that the women here are clearly disappointed in this revelation, and there's also a bit of foreshadowing.
I'm sorry,
I kept my meet and greet because I wanted to keep my show. Surely it'll be fine.
I'm sorry, Emmy.
I'm sure everyone will.
Sometimes foreshadowing really is relatively obvious. But in any case, I will clarify that Emaru did say later that other streamers managed to cancel their meet and greets. She just didn't think it was worth the trouble, especially since Twitch seemed hesitant about it. She just thought everything would be fine. It wasn't fine. Fast forwarding to the situation at hand, Emaru is doing her meet and greet as normal. She's talking to a perfectly nice fan when suddenly she sees a man approaching her, rushing at her from beyond the line. She thinks at first that this is someone from TwitchCon staff, because why the hell would he be let through like this otherwise? He then proceeded to grab her.
It seems like he's supposed to be here, and then he leans in like he's gonna tell me something. So in my head, I'm like, maybe it's like TwitchCon staff like coming to let me know something, but I'm still like freaked out because he grabbed me. That's not normal. And then he grabs my face and he leans in and lips puckered tries to kiss me, and I start screaming. You can't hear it in the clip, but I'm fucking screaming my head off.
I want to make it clear that there are 3 to 4 TwitchCon staff members in the area, but they are loitering so far away from the situation that they don't appear on camera when this whole event was filmed. And I also want to make it clear that throughout this entire situation, they never check on Emaru, they never approach to confront the guy, they don't pay attention at all. Allegedly, according to eyewitnesses, TwitchCon staff looked over, realized they missed something, and then just went back to having small talk with each other, moving on with their lives.
The Twitch security kind of got together after that, and we were like, wait, what happened? Oh, I didn't even see what happened, haha, and just started talking about something else.
If you watch the video, you'll notice that Emaru was saved by a guy. That was not TwitchCon staff. That was her own personal security guard who got the guy off her. He then proceeded to just walk away. And like I said earlier, TwitchCon staff didn't exactly do anything to stop him. He just walked back onto the convention floor, badge and name tag in hand, just fine. Emaru is then pulled to the backstage by her manager and friends comfort her. She then has to go back outside because once again, no one from Twitch is handling the situation at all. Emaru herself needs to go outside after she was assaulted and apologize to the audience because they had to see that.
And again, no one from Twitch there. I say to this guy, I'm like, I'm sorry you had to see that. And he's like, no, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Why am I having to tell the TwitchCon attendees and my fans, sorry you had to see that, and not someone from Twitch or Twitch security?
Which is horrible. Just straight up horrible. Now, after this whole situation has gone down, obviously her team is in lockdown mode. They're trying to figure out what they can do to get law enforcement involved, and allegedly her manager is being stonewalled by Twitch at every step. It took them hours to get in contact with security. By that time, the manager had already contacted law enforcement. Police were already aware of him and looking for him. The manager already had a lawyer on call, ready to go so charges could be pressed, all before TwitchCon security staff were even in the front door.
It took them 2 hours to approach her to talk about what happened. And by then, she had already talked to police and called a lawyer on her own. My manager, Melissa.
That's how long it took TwitchCon security to even realize that this was a real problem. Oh my god. Allegedly, once the manager finally is talking to Twitch, Twitch reassures her by saying, don't worry, we banned the guy for 30 days. Well, it seems kind of silly to ban the guy from the convention for 30 days. I mean, the convention only goes for a few days, right? Well, no, that's not what they meant. They meant that they banned this man who committed a crime in front of the public. They just banned him on Twitch, like the online platform.
What?
And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, well...
Wait, so you know who this guy is enough to fucking know his account? But, okay, never mind.
I asked them, what are they gonna do about this? And you know what they said initially? They said, oh, well, he's banned from the platform for 30 days.
A 30-day ban is insane. Obviously, the manager's immediate response is, why is his account not deleted immediately? And then they proceeded to do that. thankfully. She then was trying to get law enforcement involved in the situation, and allegedly, according to law enforcement,
Yeah, TwitchCon is also like a very big convention. It's huge. You know, it's big enough that it should. Yeah. They should be putting money into this kind of thing. They should be putting money and care into this kind of thing. You know,
was very hesitant to work with them to actually find this dude. Very non-cooperative.
I got a phone call from the San Diego police, and they were talking to me, and they basically said, hey, we can't really do anything right now because they apparently know the name of the guy, but they're not giving it to us until a warrant goes through.
Now, I will clarify, I do not have eyes into the legal aspect of this whole matter. I know that Legal Eagle, led by a team of actual lawyers, have done a video on this situation, but in terms of what law enforcement have done about this guy and what charges are being pressed and like blah, 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 all I know is that according to Emaru, law enforcement said that Twitch and TwitchCon were being very unhelpful throughout this entire situation, which at least they're consistent, aren't they? While this whole thing is going down, someone posts the recorded clip to Twitter, where it then goes viral. Emaru was extremely grateful for this because she honestly had no idea how she was going to tell the audience what happened. If nobody filmed it, then she'd have no proof, and the amount of backlash and doubting that she'd undoubtedly get would really suck and likely be really unhelpful for getting anything done about the situation. Luckily though, some random guy just happened to be filming the stage at that second and actually caught the whole thing on camera. Twitch only then would issue a public statement, which, side note, Emaru does not believe they would have done that if this clip hadn't gone viral.
That's upsetting considering that they apparently knew who it was. Red-handed, hands in the cookie jar. You know, like, couldn't have been clearer. God.
And given how much they were stonewalling the manager and how unhelpful they were being with law enforcement, I fully believe that that is the case. I do believe this viral clip is the only reason Twitch said anything. This video is sponsored by Ian from Little House Lessons. TwitchCon is our highest priority. The behavior displayed by the individual involved in the incident yesterday involved a high-profile streamer that was completely unacceptable and deeply disturbing. In line with existing TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement and security were on site and responded to the incident. We immediately blocked this individual from returning to TwitchCon and banned him indefinitely from Twitch, both online and for in-person events. We are coordinating with the impacted creators team and, per our standard protocols, continue to cooperate with any law enforcement investigations. We have increased security at the meet and greet attendee check-in points and have additional security personnel surrounding participating streamers. Yeah, Emaru had some other things to say about all this. I mean, based on the story that she's already been telling, you already know that some of this statement is blatantly false.
The behavior displayed by the individual involved in the incident yesterday involving a high-profile streamer was completely unacceptable and deeply unsettling. In line with existing TwitchCon security protocols, law enforcement event security were on site. That's a lie. That's literally a lie.
Y'all were stonewalling law enforcement. You were not in full cooperation with them. Event security were not on site to respond to the incident. Emaru herself had to apologize to her audience for her own assault. You couldn't even get a spokesperson out there. You couldn't even get a guy to like take a picture of him. One of Emaru's fans was the one that did that. Oh my God. There is so much BS in this statement, but I think the worst part is their whole spiel about event security. Once again, according to Emaru, They weren't emailing or informing anyone about this happening, at least in the immediate aftermath. She believes that this whole response is once again just because of the viral clip and just because of the backlash. If nobody had filmed it, nothing would have happened. A lot of the information from this video and a lot of what I'm saying about Emaru's statements, they're coming from a live stream that she did at TwitchCon, because yes, she stayed. She can.
Yeah, having been. One of the things about large organizations is they often focus on not getting caught rather than preventative measures. And I was on Channel Awesome. I know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Yeah. That's, yeah, that's a thing, kids. That's a thing.
Continued with her meet and greet. She continued with her events. She stayed at the convention despite everything. And I gotta say, I respect the grind, because if this happened to me, I'm out. Catch me on the first plane gone. Bye-bye. But yeah, this situation is bad enough with Twitch's general response, but Twitch CEO Dan Clancy, his personal.
Yeah, okay, here we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna get myself a drink. I got Felix gonna get a whole lot nastier. Oh, sorry about that. Hey, is everything okay? Yep. Okay. Okay, here we go.
Response. You gotta see it to believe it, man.
The safety of our creators is the top priority. The challenge we face is a challenge in today's society. It's not limited to Twitch. It extends throughout our society. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, since you control your community and you can ban people, you can make it so that those people that you don't want engaging with you and participating with you aren't today.
Oh my god. This is like the what was she wearing of digital online content creators. He is indirectly blaming Emaru for getting assaulted. Hell, it's barely indirect. He's essentially saying, look, she should have moderated her community better, which is just insane for a streamer of her size. This woman has millions of fans. What moderation can she realistically do to root these people out? Online moderation also doesn't apply to in-person events. Clearly, Twitch doesn't know that, since apparently they initially thought that an online ban of 30 days was an appropriate response to a recorded crime. But somehow his statement only gets more tone deaf when he starts specifically talking about Emaru.
I mean, as you know, I think you toured some of what we do in terms of security. The reality is, even as you do a lot in terms of security in today's world, there are challenges that can present themselves, especially when someone is putting themselves out there, right? And so, you know, we try to work very closely with each creator about what they want to do.
But anyway, shirking responsibility and claiming that these things happen is just ridiculous. I understand.
Yeah, these things happen. It's your responsibility to do something. It's some people just should not give, like, some people should stop talking.
That TwitchCon obviously has some measure of security. I've seen it myself. It exists. But the point of the matter is that it wasn't here. Like, you can have all these security protocols in place, but if they don't work when they need to work, if your security can be bypassed by a guy who literally just stood there for a couple seconds, waited for a gap, and then just waltzed in, then clearly your security needs to be overhauled. You can't just say these things are gonna happen. You have to be preventative and proactive. Oh, and don't think I didn't notice him saying how this happened to someone who's all out and about. Dude.
Yeah, they're out and about at your thing, first of all. Second of all, that if your security can't fucking identify trouble like that, fake security. Fake security.
Emaru didn't want to be all out and about. Remember? She didn't want to do this meet and greet. She was forced to because if she didn't, you'd cancel her events that she'd been planning for months. Oh my god. Emaru herself released a very long response on Twitter, just responding to everything Twitch had been saying and essentially condensing down her live stream that she did at TwitchCon. Yesterday, a man assaulted me and was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon, even in front of other creators' meet and greets, to grab me and my face and try to kiss me. Fortunately, he wasn't able to, but a lot of people have pointed out that it could have been a lot worse. I'm obviously shaken up by what happened today, and it's not the first time I've dealt with something like this, but to tell you honestly, I am more hurt and upset after the fact. That whole thing about this not this, but to tell you honestly, I am more hurt and upset by how Twitch handled it during and after the fact. That whole thing about this not being the first time this has happened, yeah, that's also pertinent, because this isn't even the first time this has happened at TwitchCon. Allegedly, a stalker approached her during a previous TwitchCon event, and Emaru's personal security guard grabbed him to save her. He then held the man waiting for law enforcement to come in and do the arrest, which is, you know, the job of a security guard. What then proceeded to happen is Twitch banned the security guard for life.
There was a stalker and he held him by the arm until police got there. And because of that, he was indefinitely banned from TwitchCon. Like from all of TwitchCon, not just the venue, because that was in Las Vegas.
Like not banned from the convention hall. No, banned from every TwitchCon for life. Let me make it clear. A guy who assaults a woman in public on camera gets 30 days. This guy, who's just doing his job and protecting his client, gets banned for life. Awesome. Great job, Twitch. Good to know that your priorities are in order. Obviously, people were not happy with Twitch around this whole thing, so Dan Clancy would release a new statement to Twitter. And this one was... I mean, at least it was better than the last one. First, I want to be upfront and take accountability for the security incident that occurred during Emaru's meet and greet. It shouldn't have happened, and we take that very seriously. We failed, both in allowing it to occur and in our response following. We mismanaged our communications after the incident, and that includes the comments I made. I apologize to Emaru that took place. What we're doing moving forward? For meet and greets, we've begun a complete analysis of the incident that took place, as well as other issues that came to our attention after TwitchCon concluded. We're examining everything, from how we do signups to the layouts to increased security controls. I mean, at least something got done. But the fact that it took all this is honestly what shook me and Emaru up the most. Emaru almost got lucky with this whole situation, which sounds awful because this whole situation is horrifying. I don't think anyone who has to go through this should be considered lucky. But Emaru herself pointed out that, one, it could have been much, much worse. Had this guy been armed in any way, Emaru could have been seriously injured or even killed. Like, yes, this time it was just a hug. That's what so many people respond to the situation by saying, oh, it wasn't a big deal. He hugged her, he kissed her, yeah, it's uncomfortable, but you didn't die. She could have. And if the guy had approached her with deadly intent, what would TwitchCon staff have done? Nothing. They would have done nothing. The fact that they were so negligent, completely ignored the situation, both during and after the event in question, it just showed that it could have been much, much, much worse. Security does not exist just to respond. It exists to prevent, and there was no prevention here at all. But beyond that, Emery was also lucky because she had a security guard that could save her. She had a manager that could advocate for her. She had friends who could comfort her. Not every streamer has that. And had this happened to somebody with a much smaller following, what recourse would they have had?
If you're a small streamer and you don't have those resources, or someone in your line's not filming, what the fuck do you do? No one would have known. I genuinely think there have been other people who have been sexually assaulted, groped.
Oh yeah, totally.
Who fucking knows? Worse at these conventions, and just nobody knows.
Yeah. This was just the time it got captured on camera. And by the way, even with all those resources and all those fans and all the supporters and friends and her team, I don't think any change would have happened if this incident hadn't just happened to be recorded on camera. I said that before, but I really need to make it clear. This is just the time the guy was caught. And I know that because this has been happening constantly with influencers all the time, and more people have been talking about it and even refusing to go to events because of it. For example, Wolfie. Wolfie is a Pokemon YouTuber, and he has been known for years for going to Pokemon tournaments. I mean, he's a competitive player. Makes sense that he'd attend tournaments like, for example, Worlds. But recently, just weeks ago in fact, he has announced that he will no longer be attending in-person tournaments, that those days are completely done for him.
I guess what I will say about that is that it is entirely possible that I never compete in or attend another World Championships again.
Why? Well, because he's constantly getting groped by fans.
I attended 7 in-person tournaments. At 5 of those tournaments, I was groped. Fans, when taking pictures with me, put their hands on me sexually and non-consensually during the act of taking photos.
Because, yeah, getting groped by fans, it's not a minor thing, it's not a small thing, it's not a little example. It's horrifying, man. It really is. And that's not the only bad thing that's going on with him. He's constantly getting just grabbed by fans in general, not necessarily in a sexual way, but just to like get his attention, completely disrespecting his boundaries for starters. But it's made worse by the fact that he also has severe neck problems. So when somebody grabs...
Yeah, I think I am helped by being both small and kind of intimidating looking. I do not look like I am easy to take down.
him and turns him around, it can cause his neck to spasm.
Go ahead and grab him, right? Like you would reach out and touch a friend. Except that for me, I don't know these people and they're strangers, and it made my life so difficult at that tournament that I decided that I couldn't continue having my neck spaz out. And
like, God, no wonder he doesn't want to go to these events anymore if this is how his supporters are going to treat him. And it's not just TwitchCon or Pokemon Worlds. I mean, right here in the TTRPG community, guess what? We got the same problem. You know Matt Colville? Matt Colville, if you're not a TTRPG fan, he is a designer behind the game Draw Steel. He's worked with Matt Mercer and Critical Role. He created the Running the Game series on YouTube. He is a very, very famous GM and game designer. And guess what? He does not go to Gen Con, the world's biggest tabletop role-playing game convention. Yeah, he just skips out on it. Why? Well, because he's also getting grabbed by parasocial fans. Once Gen Con meant people stopping me, often physically grabbing me every 60 feet, all day, everywhere, throughout the entire city of Indianapolis, my Gen Con days were over. It could have been worse. Mr. Matt Mercer can't go 15 feet without getting accosted. And I don't want to need security in order to just walk around. So that's the reason Matt Colville refuses to go to Gen Con. That sucks. He is a major part of this industry, and he doesn't go to the biggest event in this industry because people just can't be freaking normal. And it is even more horrifying when you realize that while TwitchCon security is lax, Gen Con security is allegedly non-existent. Swell Entertainment made a video about Gen Con, like I said in the intro, where she looked at the convention, and while she liked most of it, there were some things that thoroughly unimpressed her, like, for example, security.
Security? They're there to, like, make sure you have a badge. That's it. No metal detector, no bag check. And, like, also they're selling knives in, like, one booth had, like, actual weapons. I don't think anyone was able to just, like, walk out with them. I do think they were secured. But, like,
it's even more irritating because a ton of Gen Con regulars rushed to her comment section to white knight for the guys running Gen Con, telling her that you don't understand. It'd be completely impractical to have security at this convention. I mean, it's such a big convention.
No, it's possible. I've seen it at festivals.
There's so many people here. How are they supposed to properly have security at this massive con? Implying that a con being big is a reason why it shouldn't have security? What the fuck? Now, I do want to address first and foremost, before we move on, that these two guys make all the misogyny that happened in response to Emeru only more ridiculous. Because, yeah, every incel NPC on the internet jumped down her throat to defend and white knight for this random attacker. Because, I mean, yeah, what did you expect? Once again, the digital, well, what was she wearing? Well, clearly, based on the account of these two dudes, it doesn't matter what she was wearing. It doesn't even matter if she is a she. This is a problem everywhere. It's especially a problem for women, but it's a problem everywhere. And it's a problem that needs to be addressed. Look, I don't want to leave this unsaid, but Matt Colville and Wolfie, they were not talking about their respective events. Clearly, they've got a lot of reverence for these events. They were mostly talking about the people who were accosting them. However, this might be a hot take, but I think we should hold events at least, you know, partially kind of responsible if, for example, an assault happens on the premises, especially if allegedly the security is incredibly lax. This is not just a TwitchCon problem. It's happening with events everywhere. Look, I'm not trying to say that we need to go extreme about it and have a TSA agent groping every single attendee or anything like that. No, but just like common sense stuff.
Yeah, I've never seen a convention with metal detectors
because
ever.
That's the first solution. Even freaking XQC could propose a more common sense solution to meet and greets, for example.
And there's a little gate here. Right? And there's a security guard right here. And you can't go up. Oh yeah, if you're in line with meet and greets, whatever, right? I mean, you go up. You go. If this guy lets you in, whatever. Nobody can nobody can just walk on him. That's crazy.
When frickin' XQC is the voice of reason in the room, we all need
you
to
don't want metal
reconsider
detectors
some
at a
things
convention.
about our lives.
I'm going to tell you that right now. You do not want them. You may think you do, but you do not. Responsive security you do want. Proactive security you do want, but metal detectors specifically, you don't.
That's the first part of this problem. Negligence. Look, events need to fulfill their basic responsibility to keep talent safe. I don't care if nothing bad has happened yet.
All right, so he's just going on his rant now. I'm probably just going to agree with. All right, I got to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Hey, sorry about that. So let me go into a bit more detail. What I meant by you don't want metal detectors at a convention. Because convention centers and hotels are not set up to do that. And it's not just a matter of putting a metal detector up. The hotel or the convention center needs to actually be set up so that that's actually a thing. Now, at a meet and greet, it might make sense, particularly if you got one of those little wands, like those wands. That'd be okay. You know, the wands for specific events, that's fine because you've got like a small entrance. And all that the metal detector will do is restrict traffic in a very bad way. It will be very bad. And it's all because of how the buildings are set up. The reason you could do that at a stadium or the reason you could do that at like an airport is set up for it.
We had metal detectors for PAX East manned by BPD.
We have metal detectors for PAX East manned by BPD. I don't know what BPD is. Baltimore Police Department, I assume. Where was it held? And was it at the main doors? Because I can think of ways that you could do it, but like it would have to be a good building for it. I don't know where PAX East is held. PAX East. Where was it? Boston Convention Center. Oh, it's in Boston. Okay, Boston Convention and Exhibition. I don't know how the Boston Convention and Exhibition Center is set up. It might actually be set up for that kind of shit. See if I can find like a floor plan or something. Huh. No, maybe I'm wrong. Let's see. Didn't check the hotel entrance. Okay. So like if you get to the main, once you get through the main hall, like that's where they did it. Okay, that makes sense. Huh. Goes to show what I know. I guess, well, I mean, like PAX East, so like that's a pretty big show. So if it didn't cause any problems there, then yeah, it was probably maybe there's a way to do it. Okay then. Yeah, did they use the wand? I assume they used the wands. Oh man. Oof. Excuse me. That took a little bit out of me there. Yeah, Boston PD at the Marina Convention Center. Amanito. Okay, well, maybe that's not a problem after all. Maybe that's not the problem that it would be at some other areas. Maybe some of the areas, maybe some places I've been in are just particularly bad.
Like I said earlier, security is about prevention.
Yeah, I need to listen to the end rant. But yeah. Something to think about then. Something to think about. They had the airport style rectangle portable x-ray machines. Oh, okay. Line was crazy long. All right. Well, if PAX East can do it, then I imagine it's much more feasible than I thought. Of course, it helps if you try. Now I feel like an asshole. Hoo-ha. Man. I got a question for you, though. So I've been seeing these Transformers blokies all over the place, and I just got one fucking question. Why do I want to buy a Transformer don't transform? I don't even know. Oh, well. In Boston, you need a permit for an angry thought. Oh my God. Isn't that just a Gundam? I don't know why I just felt like putting this on. I wouldn't be surprised if the Boston Convention Center made themselves viable for metal detectors after. Oh shit! You got a point there. You got a point there, Flashman. I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, that would be a big deal. Yeah, after the marathon bombing? Holy shit. Oh. Oh, man. Yeah. But like that. Yeah, it flew out of Logan, but like the destruction happened somewhere else. Man. Yeah, but like that marathon bombing, yeah, that'll put the fear of God in you. Man, damn. One of the things that I do know, man. One of the things I do know, man, is that it gets dangerous out there sometimes. It's not as dangerous as it looks, but does get dangerous. The more pleasant news, Bookie T. Leafy continues to read Gen Z's Che Guevara. Well, that'll work. I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh, man. Okay, I'm starting to run down a little bit. You know, I could take some. Oh, there's one drug I ought to take. Hold on. I could take Adderall and stay up, but I think it'd probably be best if I actually just got some rest. It's been a wacky couple of nights. But I'm kind of happy because that television show I was telling y'all about yesterday with Horror Mom, It's Florida Man. They got a second season. I'm looking forward to it. All right. So until next time, Ave Stas, Disco Inferno. Satan, I love you all very much.